Hello, this is Leonard Rich, Superintendent of the Laurel School District, with an update regarding the masking order from the Pennsylvania Department of Health that is being enforced by the Pennsylvania Department of Education. So, last Friday, September 10th, Acting Deputy Secretary of the Pennsylvania Department of Education, Sherry Smith, clarified the department's stance on the universal masking order from the Pennsylvania Department of Health. Her communication is as follows. Of note, this letter will be emailed to all emails within our domain, as well as all parental emails on file. The statement says, relatedly, this order is not a mask optional policy. Any school entity simply permitting a parent sign off without evidence that the student has a medical or mental health condition or disability that precludes the wearing of a face covering is not in compliance with the order. So the first statement she is making here is that by signing an exemption without evidence, in her interpretation, is out of compliance. Under the order and as set forth in PDE's answers to FAQs, school entities must require all individuals 2 years of age and older to wear face coverings unless the individual has a medical or mental health condition or disability that precludes the wearing of a face covering. In accordance with Section 3 of the order, before an individual is accepted from the order, all alternatives to a face covering, including a face shield, are to be exhausted. So they are requiring evidence. We have asked you in the exemption form to list the disability or mental health or medical condition. We are in the process of checking those answers. Some do require clarification. As far as any answers to FAQs, those are not typically legally binding. Further, she communicates, it's recommended that any exception be in accordance with the eligibility order under Section 504 of the Rehabilitation Act or IDEA for such medical or mental health condition or disability. So, previously, we have had students on 504 plans. We have had students receiving education under an individualized educational plan, an IEP. Those disabilities and those conditions were identified, if you will, pre-COVID in what would have been a typical instructional environment. My concern with this end of the communication is that these medical disabilities may have been brought on under special circumstance, i.e. the masking order, which by all means is temporary. Temporary might be 6 days, 6 weeks, 6 months, but temporary will not be 13 years. School entities follow their established processes for determining student eligibility under those laws, including any medical documentation that they would normally require. There are exceptions, to the order. However, a parent's opposition to the order is not one of them. So PDE makes it very clear that whatever your opinion is, pro or con, is irrelevant to their opinion. Thank you for continuing efforts during this challenging time. Sherry L. Smith, EDD, Acting Deputy Secretary, Department of Education, Office of Elementary Secondary Education, and there's her address and phone number and email. The district understands that students who have turned in exemption forms may not be able to secure a doctor's appointment for the immediate future. Therefore, in order to gain compliance with the order, as defined by Sherry Smith, the district will afford students who previously submitted an exemption an opportunity to provide additional information from a licensed medical provider. Accordingly, the district requests proof of a licensed medical provider of an exemption that would preclude a student from wearing a mask. The district requests proof of exemption or proof of an appointment by September 30th. This is a similar procedure that we've used when trying to gain other medical information, such as proof of vaccination. Any student who does not have a documented medical condition from a licensed medical provider or proof of an appointment will be required to wear a mask as of October 1st, 2021. You may reference the above contact information should you have any questions, comments, or concerns from the state. We remain available should you have any questions regarding local compliance, exemption, or enforcement. So, I've obviously been in communication with the Board of Education. I have drafted this communication. They passed in the not too distant past, maybe a week or so ago, our plan of compliance, exemption, and enforcement. The state now has upped the ante, if you will. Our board will be reconvening next month for their meeting and may take additional action relative to compliance with the order relative to this addendum. Again, I'm happy to answer any questions if I have the knowledge and background to do so. If not, hopefully I can point you in the right direction. But this is why we're doing what we're doing. And as always, we go where we're supposed to go. We're there on time. And each and every day we're using our God-given abilities to do the very best we can. Have a great day.